Hello, good morning. So, did you tell yourself you love you today? Did you hug yourself today? And it's a wonderful day to be alive. It's an amazing day to be here. So, what did you do to your amazing self today? Did you hug yourself today? Did you say you were amazing today? Did you greet yourself today? What did you say? Did you specifically say, I love me? Because today is a wonderful day. Today is a day to love self. Today is a day to care for self. Today is a day to give self some love. So when you woke up this morning, what was the most magnificent thing you said about yourself today? Did you remember to say, hello, hello, here you are wonderful. So today, what I'm asking you to do is to remember, if you haven't said, I love me, say it now. Take a few moments, if you're sitting down or standing or whatever you're doing, close your eyes and love yourself today. Because if you do not do that to you, who is going to do it for you? Not your other people in your life. If they do, then wonderful. But remember to love yourself today. Then, if you're really in a good place this morning, hug yourself. If you're having a cup of tea, hug yourself and say, I love me. I love everything that is perfect and imperfect about me. Because somehow we always find some imperfections, but we're not. We're perfect just the way we are. So today is love yourself. Your morning blessing today is Truthful Thursday. That is just a little play with the word Thursday and the day of the week. The purpose for doing that, of course, is because I want you to be truthful to you. I want you to say what you really want to say about yourself. To yourself. I want you to admit to others that, yes, I am this and more. Be truthful to yourself. What it is you really, really, really want to do today. Today, I really, really wanted to dress up, get ready, and be outside to do the morning blessings. But no, the world has a different idea. Mother Nature has a different plan for me today. He said, no, it's raining again this morning. And the grass is wet and soggy. I could go out and get wet, but I would be constantly trying to get the rain out of my eyes, so it would have been distracting to you. So I was truthful to self and I said, no, come inside and do this. I had different places I could choose in this house. At first I was going to the usual nightly spot, and then something, as I started it to get ready there, something said no. Go to the front room. Go to the living room and the dining area where you can see outside. And you can still feel like you're outside. So what I want you to do for today, your only thing I'm asking of you today is to take a little time to be truthful to yourself today. Just be honest with you. Be true to you. What are you doing because you feel you must do it? Not because you desire to do it. Not because it's something you enjoy doing. Not because it's something that brings you a joy or happiness in the moment of doing it. What it is. What is that thing that you are going to be doing today that is not really you? What is that thing that you're going to say if I asked you and I called you and I said, what Tessa-Marie, I just had to do it. I am in this position and I cannot get out of it, so I must do it. Okay. How does that make you feel? Did it still leave you wanting more? Did it still leave you with that nagging thing in your mind that I should have just said no? Did it? So this is the question you have to be asking yourself. To live a fulfilled life, to live a life of health, joy, and attaining all the desires of your heart, you must be true to yourself. You cannot want to have a fulfilled life, a life where you're spiritually charged, where you're feeling emotionally sound, mentally sound in mind and body, physically able to move, and have the financial means to do this all with a joy in your heart. That's a fulfilled life. You have the 5 pillars, and what are you doing? How are you living your life? Are you truly, truly living it to the best of your ability? Or are you truly, truly living it to the best of somebody else's opportunity? Are you a puppet? Is there a puppeteer pulling the strings and you just jiggle and jiggle according to the strings, how the puppeteer is doing it? I hope everybody knows what a puppeteer is. If you go to a children's play, you will see the guy behind the curtain. Some little dolls, and the strings are going up and down, and the dolls are talking, and all of this. That's the puppeteer controlling those dolls in the back. That is the Wizard of Oz, who really doesn't exist. So are you letting someone control you by pulling the strings of your left or your right turn, your march forward, your moment to stand still? Or are they reminding you of past mistakes and sending you to the back, sending you into the past, pushing you to sit into and wallow into the history of past mistakes? That person is a puppeteer. That person, the person that reminds you of all what you didn't do well and constantly forces your mind back there, how you fail to do this, how you let others abuse you, how you didn't do this or you didn't do that, and constantly sending you back there, or telling you where you are right now is not where you are supposed to be. Where you are right now is not where you're supposed to be. The puppeteer is saying you should have been over there. You should have been over here. The puppeteer is pulling the string. We all find puppeteers in our life at one time or the other. Our job is to tell the puppeteer enough is enough is enough. I am not your puppets anymore. You need to find your own puppet. Sometimes, if you have that magical power in you, which we all do, you can match the puppeteer to a mirror and say, this is who is your puppeteer, you. You pull the string for you, and you behave and let me pull the string for me. So be truthful today, Thursday. Truthful Thursday. First, be truthful to yourself and say, you know what? Yes, I know. I know I should change this attitude. Yes, I know. I know I should work on this. Yes, I believe I must. And then do it. Find out what it is you need to do today to move the needle where you want it to go. Find out who you can be today and be that person today. You know, of course, when you let the puppeteer pull your string, you are not being truly you. When you let the puppeteer say to you, come on, do this, get this, stand here, ask that question to yourself. Really? Is that what I want to do? And be truthful. And if you're able, you can use the magic words, the 2-letter words, no. Not today. Just say, no, I am not doing this at all. I have had it with the string pulling. I have had it with you reminding me of where I was. I have had it with you not telling me, giving me what I deserve. I have had it with you not acknowledging that I have raised my level and I'm a better person than I was when you first met me. I have educated myself by learning better. I do things for myself today So tell the puppeteer, I can pull my own string. Just as when you took the puppeteer to the mirror and you said, this is the only person you can pull the string for is for yourself. Do not attempt to pull me and use me as a puppet. I will cut your string. I have detached it. I use the scissors and I cut that string, that way you just pull. And remember, that person doesn't have to be that close to you. That person can be outside, where it's not in the same environment of you day in and day out. It doesn't have to be a husband, a lover, a wife. It does not have to be any of those things. You have to be truthful to yourself each and every day. And if there is a puppeteer pulling your strings, you have to remind them that you're not a puppet, that you're quite able to handle yourself and to pull your string. And that, you see, is when you're being truthful to you. If it doesn't feel good, then it's not good for you. If it feels good for you, then it is good for you. If at the end of the interaction with this human being you leave and your shoulder is almost touching your hip, then you have a problem there. If when you are done with this conversation with this human being, you're feeling like, what happened here? Exactly. What happened here? A puppeteer never stops speaking. The puppeteer, when you want to recognize a puppeteer, is the puppeteer never ever stops speaking. The puppeteer continually speaks and speaks and speaks. The puppeteer is an empty barrel. When something is empty and you roll it, it makes more noise. When it is full, it rolls, but it's not loud. So the puppeteer that is pulling your string, what are they constantly saying in your ear? You are not good enough. You are too stupid to do that. You don't know. That's way above your head. This is how the puppeteer starts their conversation. What I'm telling you, you don't understand. When somebody repeatedly tells you, oh, you just don't understand, that person is a puppeteer. They want you to understand it their way, not your way. They do not want you to understand it the same way that you know. They want you to understand it just like them. So when you resent and you pull back and you refuse and you say no, the puppeteer gets angry. Because you see, at the end of the day, the puppeteer has no backbone. The puppeteer needs you so they can be who they want to be. And they use the word, I want, I want, I want. And as we know, want never gets satisfied. Want has a hole at the bottom of their barrel. And everything they say falls right through it. So a puppeteer always wants. The puppeteer always wants to be in control. The puppeteer rambles and rambles and it's, I did this and I was this and I am over here and I was famous once and I really had money. And the puppeteer is always in the past. So that is why the puppeteer pulls you in your past, especially if they knew you when your past wasn't your present. When your past, well, it was not like you are right now. Strong, determined, honest, focused, desires being fulfilled, plans being made, constantly seeking to move your needle so you can attain your desires. The puppeteer cannot take that. You are too bright. Your light is shining too strong. The puppeteer only remembers their past. And if they had some wins in their past, they want you to remember that. That is what makes them important. This is why they choose to be a puppeteer. And this is why you must be truthful to the puppeteer and say, no, you are not going to control me anymore. That's why I say take them to the mirror of life and say, look, you are the puppeteer of your life. You pull the strings about you. If your past was so glorious, why is your present so dull that you spend so much time telling me how I am not good enough? If you had such a wonderful past, where is it today? What happened to it? So now you don't have what you dreamt you had, and you are in the present moment reminding me that I am not good enough. Reminding me that once upon a time, you were powerful. It is exactly that. That's a fairy tale. This is how fairy tales begin. So when that person said, oh, once I was the rich, I had this, and I had that, and I had this. If they cannot let go the destruction of the past and step into the future and begin to make some differences in their life to move their needle where they want it to go, well, guess what? They are not necessary for you to have with you. That is bringing something into your present moment that will keep you down in the dumps. A puppeteer needs toys. A puppeteer has no determination. A puppeteer is not focused. A puppeteer just moves their fingers and talks and makes these little dolls go. That's all they can do. They need to have a bunch of puppets to move. A puppeteer is a collector of human beings to be destroyed by them. A collector will constantly remind you that, hey, you need to change you. I don't like you like this. The puppeteer will tell you why you dress in this way. The puppeteer will find reasons to criticize the very small thing about you, and they will play down the magnificent you. So this is the reason why you not let the puppeteers pull you. A puppeteer is an empty barrel. A puppeteer lives in the past. A puppeteer does not understand the present. A puppeteer is constantly telling you how grand they were. All of their wonderful things that they do. The moment a puppeteer stands there and that puppeteer is telling you, I was great. I was able to do this. I did this. And the question you have to ask yourself is why you, puppeteer, are not doing it now. What happened to the past? A puppeteer lives in the past, as I said. And if that puppeteer knew you when you were down and out, they will actually remind you of that in jest. You get it? Are you with me on this? This is what the puppeteer does. The puppeteer is the person that will remind you when you were shy, when you were not so smart, when you hadn't developed, when you didn't have goals, when you crashed the car, when you destroyed something, you burned the dinner. That's a puppeteer. They are constantly wanting to juggle you in your past. You know why? Because where you are right now, in this magnificent present moment, is just absolutely too much for them to take. So they're going to tell you, are you going to do this again? Didn't you fail before? If you're going to do something, I know somebody who didn't get it. Do you think you can? You remember you tried? Remember how you at school you had zits? Remember when you at school you were so fat? That's a puppeteer. They're pulling your string of the past and dragging all these little strings of puppeteers into your future, and you must tell them enough is enough, get out. It's not hard, guys, to tell somebody leave, stop. The puppeteer tells them to stop. The minute you tell that puppeteer to stop, they're going to be, you notice they will be befuddled. They're going to go, well, you know, that stupid look on their face. And that is the time you take your scissors and you cut those strings that they're holding you down with. And then you decide how to deal with them. Be truthful to yourself. Stand in the mirror and say, girl, guy, this relationship is not helping you. Every time they talk to you, I can't believe this, you were like this, and now look at you. Well, yeah, and it's too bad that I am blinding you with my sunshine. So what you have to do is be honest and question yourself why am I letting this person do this to me? I am not telling you to cut them off, because sometimes they're so close to you that if you cut them off, there will be a ripple effect that will last through a lifetime. It could be a sister, a brother, an aunt, an uncle, a neighbor that you've known since you were 2. You cut them off, they will just come after you more. So you know what you do? You grit them first. You grit them first. The God in me grits the God in you. You know they're going to call you, so you call them first. You know you see them coming. Don't wait for them to say, hello, how are you? Go to them. Hi, how are you? So nice to see you, but I have to leave. I need to go. I do this. When I meet somebody that I know that would really like to be my puppeteer, which I don't need, I walk up to them. I actually walk up to them and I go, it's so nice to see you. How are you doing? Oh, I would love to chat, but I have to leave. Oh, and here's somebody over here I need to talk to. Or you pick up the phone and you pick it up. Or you dial the number and you go, hi, good morning. How are you on this fine morning? Oh, well, it's nice. I hope you're doing well. Talk to you later. Boom, bam. Case closed. You do not have to deal with that puppeteer. So little by little, you take control. You become the puppeteer of choosing who you want to be in your life. You know they're going to try to crush you. They will always, a puppeteer, if you don't know what a puppeteer really is, the person that will tell you, I remembered when you were, and it's negative. That's a puppeteer. That's what the puppeteer will tell you. I remember your picture in the yearbook. And they have to tell you, oh, you got your teeth straightened? They were all crooked when you were in grade 10. That's a puppeteer. They want to drag you into the unpleasant. And there you are swimming and swimming to get out of it and to get to the pillar of success. So do not let those puppeteers control you. Puppeteers come in all shape and colors. Puppeteers are blue, pink, yellow, and white. Puppeteers stand tall. Puppeteers are short. Puppeteers, the reason why they're like that is that they are so disturbed about themselves. That's why they're like that. Empty barrels make the most noise. Puppeteers do not give you a turn to speak. A puppeteer cuts you off at the knee. A puppeteer is what scripture calls a fool. Because a puppeteer never lets you finish the question before the answer. In the middle of you speaking, they start to tell you the answer to the half-heard question. Or maybe a quarter. Oh yeah, I know. I know. No, you don't know. That's why I'm telling you. I, as a manager, had to deal with this. I'm trying to teach you something. Oh, I know, Tessa-Marie. I know. Yes, I know. And I say, okay, you know, teach me. Show me. So we don't know. We are all on a learning journey. So my lesson, my blessing for you today is Truthful Thursday. Be honest with yourself. Look at the puppeteers in your life. See what they're doing to you. It's never joyful. Because the puppeteer lives in the past mistakes of everyone except themselves. You must remember that. The puppeteer will live in your mistakes to remind you of all your mistakes, all of your failures, all of your hurts, all of your not so done well, did good. But the puppeteer, when they do come to talk about themselves, because they love to do this. I was the best salesperson on the block. I was the best at this, and I was the best at that, and I was. And if you want to be equally as harsh, which I do not recommend, you could say, yeah, but what do you know? So you see, that's not nice, is it? And that is it's harsher than all what they said to you. So I have a thing that I say. People never hear when somebody comes after you and tells you nasty things. But somehow, when you answer, the whole world gets to know and say, why did you do this, Tessa-Marie? And I'm thinking, where were you when the fool was aggravating my whole system? Where were you? And now you know why I did this? That's why I did it. Because, so I'm not recommending that. Because they do not hear the assault. They just hear when you're defending yourself. So today, be truthful to yourself. Stay focused on you. And if you can, cut the strings of the puppeteers that are in your life. If you can do one thing for yourself today, is to tell that puppeteer, stop telling me this. I do not live in the past. I was 16, I was 17, I was 21, I was 40. I am no longer that person. If you haven't noticed, I am the brand new. I have created me. I recreated the person. And this person standing here right now, tell that to them, is the person I want you to know and I want you to realize I am. So stop living in my past and you get into your present moment, because I do not know anything about you. Your past, all I know is what I see now, and it's ugly. It's very ugly. So if you want the world to see you like this, keep living in people's dark places and reminding them of it. So sending you light and joy, it takes an art. It takes patience. It takes thoughtfulness. It takes a little bit of planning to cut off the strings from a puppeteer. Do not forget that. Do not, they said revenge is a dish best served cold. I call it living to fight another day. So it's not when the storm is raging, you're going to try to put the shingles back on the house. You have to wait for the storm to be over for you to re-shingle that roof. So what you do not take on the fight when it's hot. Wait for them. Patience is a virtue. And if you wait, you will get a chance to correct that once and for all. So enjoy your day. See you guys later.